Hello. Today we are going on talking about adjectives, and today we will talk about something that is more common, that is more typical. Uh, yeah, we'll talk about it probably a bit fast. I guess that I might record some videos for elementary levels, but a bit later. So we'll talk about some details. Also, I'll try to show you some moments which are not very typical and which we quite often forget while talking about adjectives. But let us start with adjectives and their comparative forms. Let's go. So, at first, yeah, comparative and superlative forms. I have put here the transcription just because of the fact that quite often I hear from different people the variant of pronunciation like superlative, comparative, super. I don't know, they even don't sound together. Superlative forms. We all know, and usually people remember about such forms like shorter, the shortest, yeah, that if the adjective is short, we use suffix er or suffix est and there before. We double our consonant if we have a closed syllable, so not to change the pronunciation and not to change the pronunciation of hotter to hotter. So that's why we double the consonant. We change Y into I when it goes after a consonant letter. So here they are pretty common issues and they are easily to be remembered. If the adjective is longer, we use more or the most. The question is, what is a long adjective? Because yeah, you can say that 1-2 syllables are short, but are 3 and more long. However, if we take, for example, ed, adjectives which finish with ed, or adjectives which finish with ing forms, we use them also with more the most. For example, bored, there is even one syllable, but it will be more bored, the most bored. When the adjective finishes with ing or ed, so we use more the most as well. And irregular adjectives, of course, so good, better, the best, bad, worse, the worst, little, less, the least, they are pretty popular and everybody knows everything about them. The question is, what is far and what is the difference between farther and further? The main difference here is we use a only when we speak about distance. So that shop is farther from us than this shop. Further, we can use both about some distance or about some meaning which is not connected with distances. For example, and further, I would like to tell you. So further, that's why in general, you can remember further because we can use it everywhere. Farther only with a, variant with a, only in some situations. So one more variant, it's older and elder. And here's the question, what is the difference? Obviously. We use variant with E only about family relationship. Everybody remembers about it. So we usually speak about people's age, especially when people are in the same family. But we cannot use our elder immediately after a verb. For example, my sister is elder than me is a mistake. So my elder sister is okay. And we don't use the elder and the elders to talk about the age of things. So only about people. That is about older and elder. And one more variant, late. We have two variants here. Pay attention. If we speak about time, we say later and latest. Everything is okay, that is regular. But if we speak about sequencing, so about the order of things, we use, we have two different variants. Remember about it. They like these variants in different tests. After superlatives, we usually use in or of. And if we speak about time, we use of. This is the best day of my life. But if we speak about just nouns, we use in when we speak about singular nouns and of if we speak about plural nouns. Look at the examples. In informal English, we can put of at the beginning of the sentence. Of the candidates interviewed, David was the best. That is informal variant. But pay attention to this moment. In singular, of plural. One more moment, which we can use with comparative forms of adjectives, but not only comparative, we can use them with superlative as well. These are the lists of different variants of words which we can use before the adjective. And it makes your speech much more exciting, a great deal better, far more advanced by miles. In Russian, we use only a few words and we use them only before comparative form. But in English, you see that we can use them in different variants. The only moment to draw your attention is the last line. Look, we don't use a little and a bit when a noun follows the comparative adjective. For example, if we have the sentence, higher price, we can't say a little higher price. The price is a little higher is okay, but a little and a bit we cannot use before a noun with comparative form. And some more comparative structures. The first one, as. I guess that everybody remembers that we can use as or so in negative sentences, so as, and in the middle we use the adjective in zero form. The book is as thought-provoking as that one. His new film is just as gripping as his old one. We use just to emphasize, to make the construction stronger, or to show that we know more different variants of constructions. When you want to show that, to say that something is almost equal, we use just about, almost, more or less, nearly. Look at the example. The restaurant is just about as bad as that one. Not exactly, but they are pretty similar. Also, we can use nearly or quite. My friend is nearly as old as me. Pay attention, in informal variants, they are informal, still you can learn to use them and start using them. We use the following constructions. That dress isn't anything like as nice as the red one. Not anything like, nothing like, nowhere near. So here we use these constructions. So when we speak about, when we compare two issues, the dress isn't anything like as nice as the red one, but that is in an informal sentence. As. Not any plus comparative. This car is no more expensive than that one. Or this car isn't any cheaper than that one. The idea is the same. The cars are of the same price. No or not any plus comparative to show that something is the same. No more expensive, isn't any cheaper, but idea is the same. They're of the same price. To show that something is really important for us, we can repeat comparative form twice. Just pay attention. If we repeat a short adjective, we repeat the adjective itself. Better and better. If we repeat our long adjective, so we repeat only more and more. So better and better, more and more daring. Bigger and bigger, more and more exciting. My favorite construction, I don't know why, but I do like it. The comparative, combined comparison. Pay attention that we use it absolutely in the same way as we do in Russian, but we use, instead of any linker words, we use there, here, comparative, and then we use subject, verb if we need them. Sometimes we can use, look at the second example, without any subjects and verbs. And here is the same, there, adjective, subject, verb. The longer you live, the worse it'll get. Without, the more, the better. There are a lot of different variants, like the more, the merrier, and so on, which use the same construction. So, there. We can show the opposite situations. Look, when we want to show the difference between two qualities, we can use more. Pay attention. I am more sad. It's not a mistake. We need two qualities. I am more sad than disappointed. Here, not sadder. I am more sad because we compare two different qualities. Actually, we show that they're opposite. Her eyes are more green than gray. When you have two adjectives and you compare adjectives, we use more. Also, we can use not so much as, or rather than. I'm not so much disappointed as sad. We also compare two qualities. Her eyes are green rather than gray. So remember, if we have two qualities, we can use at first more and adjectives. We can use not so much as, or rather than. And our similes, or two constructions, one with as, we have already discussed it, and another with like. As adjective, as. Listening to her was as interesting as watching paint dry. Of course, usually we use them when we want to underline something, that something is important for us. We can use metaphors here. Pay attention that in informal variant, we can use it without the first as. She looks white as a sheet. And we can use like, the second variant of similes, like and noun, or like and verb phrase. The sheep was like a skyscraper lying on its side. We can have, on the left, you can see that we use them in a lot of different idioms. As fat as a pig, swim like fish, as strong as an ox, as white as snow, or my favorite one, sleep like a log. So they are called similes, and they are very useful for different stories and for speaking, of course. And the last question, like and as. Here, I guess that you know the difference. We use like when we speak about something that seems similar, but is not this issue as a fact. For example, although they looked like an innocent young couple, they were ruthless criminals. So they appeared to be innocent, but they weren't. They looked like. So, Mike puts on his dark suit. He looks like a waiter. Is he a waiter? No, of course. He looks like a waiter, but he is not a waiter in general. So we use like when we want to say that something seems like this, but in fact it is not. As we use when something has this job, role, or we speak about something's function. So Simon works as a waiter. It means that he's a waiter. You use your number as a password, so this is the function of this number. Jude Law appeared as Hamlet. It was his role. Tests are used as, so that is their function as well. So like when it is like something, but it is in fact not this thing, and as when we speak about a function or somebody's job. And the last one, as and such. No, I'm not going to start talking now about as and such after the idea that after as we can use only adjective, and after such we use an adjective as an and a noun. Actually, I was not going to speak about it. We use, look at the constructions. We use here as, adjective, a, noun, and as. It looks quite weird for us at first. It wasn't as bad a result as I'd expected. When we use nouns in comparison, we can use this construction. It wasn't as bad a result as I'd expected. It means that it was better than I expected. So again, look, we use as, adjective, a, if a noun is countable and singular, and noun, and then again as. Isn't as bad a result as I expected. We put adjective before an article, which is really not typical for us. And one more variant, which is easier, not such a, if a noun is countable and singular, adjective, and noun and as. So it wasn't such a bad result as I had expected. Such a, adjective, noun, as. The second variant is more typical, but the first variant, it's not a mistake. We use as, adjective, a, and noun. That's it. So you see that in many variants, there are really a lot of details which we don't see in our daily life. And if you want to find out more about any details like that, write and I will try to find about them. For today, that's it. So the practice I will attach to your message if you need it. So you're welcome with your questions. For today, that's it. And remember that grammar is an important part of the English language, but it is just a tool, so use it correctly. For today, that's it. Bye-bye.